everyone and welcome back to my channel. So another Avakin Life video coming out. I'm going to be doing these a lot more frequently, like I said in the last video. If you haven't seen that, go check out the brands, rating brands. In that video I rated Nike, Palermo and All Saints and then rated them in terms of which one was the best. So go check that video if you haven't. But today we're going to be doing a more serious topic. Let's talk about. So this is kind of the area where I do boring stuff on screen, like collecting gems, but it's actually what I'm saying that's important for once. So today we're going to be talking about the Avakin downfall cycle. So I'm going to be honest, I named it myself. Although it is a real problem, I had to come up with a name because no one had actually thought of a proper name yet. So this kind of connects with what I was saying in the last video. Is Avakin Life becoming a kids game? So that's kind of died down and no one's too angry about that. But I mean, I think this is important to talk about because it actually relates to the reason I haven't been doing Avakin videos. So if you don't know what the Avakin Cycle is, it's not something official. It's something that's been talked about a lot on Reddit and no one's given it an official name or no one's really talked about it in the YouTuber community. So everyone seems to be talking about it on Reddit, or I've talked to people about it on Avakin and asked them about it. But and a lot of people seem to recognise this cycle, but a lot of people just don't really name it or anything. So that's why I've done this video, to give you guys a sort of understanding of what it is. So if you guys have played Avakin for a long time, I've played it for over a year. It should be coming up on it says a year on my profile. It should be coming up in 2 years very soon. But the thing is, Avakin has had kind of a troubled history. Now, you guys might see a lot of people who are high, well, not necessarily high level, people who've been playing for like 4 or 5 years, like the maximum since it first came out, and they're only like level 18 or something. So not necessarily low level, but just not the level you'd expect them to be. That's because a lot of people go off and on playing Avakin. And that's kind of what the whole cycle is. So this has happened quite a few times in the history of Avakin, where the game will go down in popularity. When it first came out it was quite popular, but then it'll go down in popularity because something isn't right. For example, last time it was the kids that were being introduced to the game. A lot of people stopped playing the game because of the developers weren't really being supportive and their tap joys wasn't working. A variety of different reasons people stopped playing the game for. And every time this seems to happen, a new update comes out which doesn't really fix the problems that everyone's been talking about. For example, I know I keep saying for example, but the main problem everyone had with Avakin and why so many people were quitting the game was because it was becoming a kids game. Things were getting censored, things were getting taken out of the game, and now all of a sudden everyone's forgotten about that. No one cares about that anymore. No one's talking about it anymore, and everyone is focusing on this new update. And the updates that they bring out around this time seem to be just giving people purely what they want in terms of aesthetics and everything. For example, we thought a fun fair would be fun, so let's do that. So instead of addressing bugs, instead of addressing the things that made people quit in the first place, they just add a whole new bunch of stuff that is cool for the first week, but you know, the game diminishes again, so people stop playing again because of the same reasons. And then people, for example, I saw this happen with the Kenya update and the wellness. People stopped playing the game altogether, then the wellness update came out. And after the wellness update, the Kenya came out. And on Reddit, I found this quite interesting because I could start to see every now and again there were a couple of people complaining actually about the game again, saying, yeah, the Kenya, or rather the wellness update was fun, but there's still the same problems. And straight after that, the Kenya update came out and no one was talking about it again. So this kind of seems to be the norm. They'll bring out a new update, which will keep everyone happy and silent for a little bit. And then they will they'll completely just keep doing the same things, you know, having trouble with support, having trouble with chat joy, players getting banned for barely anything. People stop playing, and then they bring out a new update that's purely cosmetical, and just it's the type of update that makes us happy because it's, you know, it's colourful and it's new and it's fun. But I think the game would be better if, instead of all of these updates that are just purely cosmetical and for the aesthetics, I think it would be better if they made an update sorting some of the bugs and the glitches, and if they maybe spent the time, instead of programming new areas into a game, getting back to all the people that have contacted them, saying that they need help, that they need support. That's the type of thing that they need to do as a company, in my opinion, because it's not fair on the players, really. So a lot of the time what it seems to be, the same thing happens with GTA 5. I know that a lot of people who watch my videos, or at least watch Avakin Life videos, probably don't even play GTA, but what happens is people stop playing the game, and then they'll bring out, for example, they just brought out the casino update in GTA, and now everyone's playing the game all of a sudden, just because this new cosmetic update came out, and it doesn't really fix the problems that everyone's been talking about, but it just brings new stuff to the game that's so, like, cool looking that we just can't resist, and so we go back to playing the game, forgetting all the troubles we had. And like I said, the reason I want to talk about this is I haven't been making Avakin videos, and I've been kind of telling myself the reason is I got a new phone, and I haven't got, my headset won't work with it, because it's an iPhone X, so I need to get the proper headphone plug for it. I'm not very good with words, as you can see, but I kind of kept telling myself that, but then I noticed I've been playing Avakin less and less, and this has happened to me a few times. I always stop playing Avakin because I get bored of it, or I get so sick of seeing some of the stories on Reddit, I'm not saying it's a bad company, Lockwood is terrible people or anything, but some of the stories I've heard on Reddit about people who've just been shunned, and people who have been hurt so bad by Lockwood, and people who are getting ignored, it sometimes makes me so angry at the company that I stop playing the game just because I want to spite them, just because I think, why am I giving these people my money? And it really bothers me. But then this new update came in, and I went straight back to playing the game just like everyone else did, because I thought, hey, this is really cool. So, I mean, I know that by that logic, I'm technically contributing to the cycle, but I don't think it's a very good habit for Lockwood to get into, because instead of having a steady customer base, because that's what we are, we're playing the game, but let's be honest, in terms of business, we are customers. It's like if Tesco, or let's use, not Tesco, Asda, because Asda is linked with Walmart in America. So think about Asda if you're in Britain or whatever, Walmart if you're somewhere else, Superdino if you're in Spain, because I know that that's like a really cool supermarket there, but I don't know every supermarket there is, so I can't think of any more alternatives. But so a big supermarket is well known, and what they do is they put their prices up so no one buys it, then they lower the prices and have a closing sale and everyone comes. That's what it's like. It's like doing that over and over and over again. So you don't have a customer stream that's frequent and constant, and there's not a customer stream of people that are happy necessarily. It's just a stream of people that are coming because they think stuff looks cool, and then they get tired of the BS again and they leave. It's not really the way that you should be running your business. And I hate to sound like I'm being bossy or anything like that, because when it comes down to it, I'm not that old. So, you know, I don't run a business. So technically, I shouldn't be telling them how to run theirs. But when it comes down to it, I've seen this happen in so many other games. And I think sometimes what companies need is for an outsider looking in to tell them what it needs and doesn't need. So, I think that this is the problem with Avakin Life, the main problem. People will say the problem is the glitches, some people will say the problem is the microtransactions and how much Avacoins cost. But I think that this is this game's fatal flaw, and I think it's going to be its downfall eventually. I'm not saying Avakin is dying at the moment, because it's not. You know, new players are coming every day and all that, but I think if they don't sort some of these issues that we've been asking for years, instead of just throwing some pretty graphics at us and expecting us to just, you know, fall into their hands, I don't think it's going to last as long as they want. In order to make a good, solid game, you have to have stuff that brings people back, but you also have to have stuff that keeps people. So the carnivals and all that, the Kenya update, the wellness update, all that cool stuff, that's what brings us in. But having a working game that doesn't glitch and a fully functioning support team that's always there, that's what keeps players. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be the players that are there for a long time, players that play Avakin every day, that are going to spend the money, rather than the people who come in, play Avakin for an hour, and then go off. So really, I think in terms of customers and in terms of what they need to do to keep their customer base happy and keep their customers buying, because that's what it's all about. It's a business. You know, they want money, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what a business is. So from a business point of view, I don't think it's a good approach they're taking. And I do this all the time. I play Avakin, I go off, and I don't even think I would have played Avakin for as long, because I kind of had a spell where I played it for a long time. I don't think I would have played it as long if I didn't have people I cared about, because I start to get so bored of Avakin and I just don't enjoy the game, but I go on just to see how everyone else is, how people who are my family in the game, how people are doing, how people who are my friends are doing. I want to see how they are, but I'm kind of tired of the game. So it really is a vicious cycle to get into. The whole reason I even started my YouTube channel was because I was getting bored of just normally doing Avakin, because I think there needs to be a balance. Life is about balance, just life in general is about balance, and they need to balance bringing all these cool and new things in with actually making the things that are already in the game perfect, like customer support, glitches, all that sort of stuff. People should not be getting banned for saying, "Can I have some noodles?" People should not be getting banned for saying something slightly suggestive. You know, people should not get banned for that sort of thing, and they are, and that's the reality of it. And I know that once everyone kind of gets used to the carnival update and everyone gets a bit bored of it, because they will, that's just how it works. Eventually everyone will get bored of it. People are going to start saying, "Hey, this has happened, Lockwood, can you help?" And then Lockwood's not going to respond, they're going to put it on Reddit, and everyone's going to hate Lockwood again. And what Lockwood is going to do is bring out a cool new update again that gets everyone back in and playing the game for 2 minutes. So that it's like they're getting their 15 minutes of fame. And I'm not saying that Lockwood's a bad company or they're doing this on purpose. I'm just saying that is the reality of the history of Avakin Life, because I've been playing it for a long time. And I didn't just make this video just after playing it for like a couple months. I've been playing Avakin for almost 2 years. And I've also done some of my own research. I constantly follow the Reddit page. I read just about every post that goes up on it. And that's where, if you want more insight into the type of things I'm talking about, please go on there. Because I've heard many people say it's a cycle with Avakin, but no one's put it into an actual video like I have. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. I think this is something that could easily be fixed. All that Lockwood need to do is spend less time bringing out all the new and cool stuff. I can't find this other gem, it's annoying me. And spend more time actually thinking about, what do our customers want? Yes, we want cool stuff, but we also want a game that's stable, a game that we're not terrified of getting banned from. And some of these issues have been resolved, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they never resolve these sort of things. I just think they need to do it more often and focus less on the oh, that's a cool thing aspect. So I really think, from a business point of view, they are failing in that category. So I'm sorry if that was hard to understand. Just kind of wrapping up here. I'm sorry that was hard to understand or anything. I tried to make it as simple as possible, but that just seems to be the sort of cycle that's going on, and I hope they can break it, because I do love this game. I do enjoy Avakin. There are so many problems that are easily fixable, but they're just not getting the attention they need. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Avakin Life. Let's talk about. Suggest any future topics you want me to talk about, and I will, because I'm not trying to sound like a like a big brain or anything like that, but I am quite knowledgeable when it comes to Avakin Life in terms of its history and everything like that. I've done some research on it. Like I said, I go to the Reddit page. I've talked to a lot of people, so I am quite knowledgeable about it. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. Comment on this video, message me through Instagram. Go follow my Instagram, by the way. I have 2 Instagrams. One is for my channel, which is TaylorificGaming, and that's where all my Avakin content goes to, but I also post other videos of gamings and stuff like that, horror games, all that sort of stuff. So I have an Instagram for that. But if you're just interested in the Avakin Life stuff, you can go on my other channel, Taylor 487. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.